So before I get into today's episode, I was serious about what I said at the end of our last podcast. If you would like to be a guest, if you want to be featured on the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast and you feel like you deserve it for whatever reason, send us an email to millionairecarsalesman@gmail.com. You can also tag us because I'm sure you are all in the Millionaire Car Salesman Facebook group. So you can tag us there, let us know you'd like to be a guest, and if you qualify, then we'll be reaching out to you. So without further ado, we got a phenomenal episode for you today. We have a rock star. Y'all been hearing us talk about her all throughout the group. She's just been doing some phenomenal things. So listen, I'm going to let her and Sean tell the story. Everybody give it up for the one and only Miss Carmela Carullo, my friend. Y'all check her out.
Welcome to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, the #1 resource for automotive sales professionals, managers, and owners to learn how to make money, accumulate wealth, and to all out ball out in the auto industry. And now your hosts, Sean V. Bradley and L.A. Williams.
Hey everybody, this is Sean V. Bradley, president of Dealer Synergy and the creator of the Millionaire Car Salesman Group. And I am here with a rising star and a rock star in the automotive industry, Carmela Carullo. Say hello to everybody, girl.
Hello.
Carmela, let's start with, tell us a little about you and your automotive career. How long have you been in the industry?
So I've worked for Kia 11 years, 2 years with Raceway Kia. Started off as an administrative assistant. Went into service, warranty, admin, receptionist, pretty much everything, everything but sales. When I came to Raceway, I started as a BDC rep. There was only 2 of us here.
So what was that like? Let's talk about that. So when you're a BDC rep, what does that mean? Did you handle, because I've taught you that BDC means something different to everybody. So what did you handle?
So I handled incoming phone calls, leads that came in, set appointments.
So internet leads and did you handle phone ups too?
Phone ups, yep.
Okay, so internet leads and phone ups, which is an internet coordinator in my opinion. And what type of numbers were you doing?
16, I was only doing 16 solds at the time.
All right, and then what was the first jump when you went from 16 to?
I went from 16 to about 50. Okay. Within 6 months.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second. That's pretty amazing. So how were you able to be responsible for 50 sales? Like what were your behaviors? What were your activities that you did?
Just leads. I mean, I went into the database and just looked at old leads, new leads, just everything I could get my hands on, referrals. Okay. And then how long were you doing that before you got a management position? About a year.
Okay, so you did that for a year? For a year. Okay. And let's talk about that, but let's be respectful. And we'll say there was numerous directors, yes. Right? So there was numerous directors and they had pedigrees, they had management titles, they were former directors in other places, they're this and that. But did any of these people work out? No. Okay, let's talk about why these people didn't work out. Not by names, but what were some of the reasons that these managers got, either fired or left on their own? Not focused, not bad environment, not helping, not training. Not respecting their team, their employees, not treating females the right way, conflict, laziness. Is this all true? Yes. Okay. Lying about shit, you know what I mean? Flamming numbers, cooking the books, all sorts of stuff. True or false? True. Okay. So I'm normally not the person that thinks it makes sense to promote an internet coordinator or BDC rep to a director. I think that, just like, this might sound crazy because of who I am, I think that females are way better in internet and BDC, whether it's coordinators or directors, than guys. But I'm an anomaly. I'm an exception to the rule. There's not nearly as many men in BDC departments or BDC director roles compared to females. But, that still means that men can do good. So my point being is that even though I normally don't feel that a coordinator has what it takes to be a director right from the jump, you are one of those exceptions to the rule. You know what I mean? Because you utterly crushed. You know, when you hear the term about shattering the ceiling, like you utterly crushed what not only, forget about female, but what a coordinator is capable of doing. So let's talk about this. I've been working with you guys for, Vlad had the numbers a little bit messed up. But
almost 2 years.
He thought it was like a year. It's almost 2 years.
Yeah, February will be 2 years.
Thank you, Vlad. So we've been working with him for 2 years. And when we first got here, what were the numbers like from the internet? About 60?
About 60.
Okay, about 60. And how many reps were here?
We had 4.
Okay, so that's not a lot. You had 4 reps. You had 60 units out of the internet department. And let's fast forward to August 2020, last month. How many reps did you have?
6.
You had 6 reps, so only 2 more reps. But you didn't sell 60 cars last month out of your department.
No, we sold 156 cars.
You need to talk to your GSM. He thought it was 130.
No.
How many was it?
156.
Okay, that's crazy.
It was 137 in July.
Right. So you're looking at a woman that started out as a, everything but internet. I mean, she did service, reception, all this stuff. She was a BDC rep. She crushed that job. I mean, to sell 50 cars, be responsible for 50 cars as a BDC rep is really powerful. That's the equivalent, in my opinion, of a 30-car salesperson. And then from there, she got thrown into being an internet director with no director or sales management experience. And she worked her ass off. So let's talk about that. How hard did you work for this director position?
Very hard. I mean, I trained a lot, worked with your team almost every day, trained, worked with Vlad, sat with some salespeople, just worked with just different customers that they couldn't get in. I tried, got them in, sold.
So she's been a little bit modest. So you killed yourself training on Bradley on Demand, on virtual training. You killed yourself training, live training. There's been immersion. There's been multiple boot camps that we've done here. You've actually gone to other dealerships. You've driven hours in one direction. You've driven to, different workshops and things like that to be able to get this knowledge. You've collaborated with other people. You've been active in the Millionaire Car Salesman group. Now, the reason why I'm building this up is because you wanted to be a director.
Yes.
And so talk about that is that, I feel that part of the reason why you're successful is because you wanted it so bad.
I wanted to help people I wanted reps to get to where I got. And at first, I didn't think it was possible because I did think it was hard. But, after me doing it and then, me not as a director, helping the other reps and saw that their numbers were getting higher with my help, I figured, hey, why not?
So let's talk about that. So tell me about your team right now. What do you think about your team?
They're awesome.
Talk to us.
They're awesome. They listen. I have Khadija right now, who's my top rep, doing about 45 cars a month herself. I have new reps that started with $300 commission check. They're up to $1,200, $1,300 right now.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So let's go through this. What do you think are the problems of the average coordinator? Why do the average coordinators suck? You know what I mean? What is it? Is it lack of training, lack of support?
I think it's lack of support and lack of training.
So Carmela, what do you think the average challenges or weaknesses of coordinators or BDC reps are?
I don't think they know the CRM correctly. They weren't trained on it.
And so if you're not trained on it, you can't use it correctly.
Correct.
All right, cool. So then let's flip it a different direction. What advice do you have? If, for example, I don't know if you know this, but you know that new hire, Corey, right?
Yep.
Because of that and because of how successful you're doing, my other daughter, Kalina, is thinking about getting into the family business too.
Wow.
In the BDC.
That's awesome.
So I'm asking you, you're my friend. If you're going to talk to my daughter, Kalina, and you're going to give her advice if she's going to become a new BDC rep, how would you advise her?
Do it, girl. It's hard at first, but a lot of training, you'll get there.
So what advice do you have if she did take the plunge? If she was going to turn around and become a BDC rep, what advice do you have for her so she become a Khadija, she could become a Carmella?
Just train. Train with all your sources. Learn the CRM.
Okay, let's talk about
dealers.
Yeah. So what type of training specifically? Let's go through it like Forrest Gump.
Product knowledge.
Oh, good. So you definitely think that your reps need to have product knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And see, this is the thing that it's to me is like a common sense thing, but I'm utterly like flabbergasted that most BDC reps are not product certified. They don't have a clue. So product knowledge, and they could do that from the manufacturer training.
Right.
Okay, so besides product knowledge training, inbound, outbound phone call training.
Yep.
Objections, rebuttals.
Yep.
What else? Keep going.
CRM training, rebuttals, like you said, how to answer phones. I mean, how to take a lead, how to just everything that you can train on, I would definitely do.
Okay. How do you train your people?
I sit with each and every one of them individually at least 20 minutes a day. We go through the outbound script, the inbound script. We do still CRM training, even though they went through the training. I sign them up for dealer synergy classes.
They're on Bradley On Demand too?
Yeah, on Bradley On Demand. Yep, they do Bradley On Demand for about half an hour a day.
Okay, good. So you really believe in a lot of training?
Yes. That's how I got
to where you're at.
To where I'm at.
All right, so this is really good. So now, you said you do 20-minute trainings. Do you do individual one-on-ones with them? So explain what one-on-ones are. Like, obviously I know what they are, but to the public, because a lot of internet directors don't do one-on-ones with their people. So
with the one-on-ones, I'll sit with them. We'll go through the CRM. We'll go through, their 7-day customers. Why couldn't they get them on the phone? Missed appointments. We'll do that. Their buckets.
Any problems? Any TOs that you need?
TOs. Yep. How did you not overcome that? Why did you need a TO? We'll do role play, inbound, outbound.
So if I may, correct me if I'm wrong, so what I'm hearing from this is really good, Carmela, is that you have a very, very intensive training culture.
Yes.
Where it's OEM product certification training, it's dealership training, it's dealer synergy on-site training coaching, it's Bradley On Demand virtual training, it's dealer synergy webinar academy classes. Then there's, 20 minutes a day that you're sitting one-on-one personally training with them. On top of that, it's professional development where you're doing one-on-ones, where you're doing SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. You're auditing the CRM. You are, doing save a deals, save a leads. You're doing TOs and things like that. I mean, it sounds overwhelming, but the reward is worth it, no?
Yes, absolutely. And I leave here and I don't work 9 to 5. It's 9 to whatever. Even I'm home, still trying to get customers, prospecting. That's how I became successful.
No, you're doing a great job. Okay, so now let's talk about this with TOs. Are you good on the phones?
I think so. I mean, I talk to them as if I was talking to a family member or a friend. Make them feel comfortable, make them trust me.
Well, she's being way too modest. She said to you before that she was over 50 plus sales, so she's more than good on the phone. She didn't take the bait. What I'm trying to say though is that I think one of the reasons why you're so successful is because you are a hands-on director. You know what I mean? Versus the previous director that was there didn't do shit. You know what I mean? He didn't do TOs. He didn't go in. It was more delegation.
Right.
Explain your style of management versus, of doing and leading by example versus delegating. Explain why that's not a good idea.
I'll help when one of my reps need help, I'm always there. Even if I'm not here, I'm just a phone call away, they'll call me. I'll TO a deal from my house. If I absolutely can't do it, I go to Vlad or Jesse. But most of the time we all work as a team. Okay, so Carmela, tell me, what is your recommendation production-wise for a coordinator? So if I'm a coordinator for you and you're about to set expectations, tell me what I'm supposed to do from the second I walk in today, the second I go home. Just work hard, get the customers in the door, try to make sales, earn your money. Okay. So let's talk about it. They said, try to get them in the door. What are the biggest, because it's September 2020 right now, what are the biggest pushbacks, if any? Do you have any pushbacks with people coming into the dealership? We still have the COVID customers that still want to just do things over the phone, internet sales. How do you handle that? Yes. So we'll still do internet deals. We'll still deliver cars, even service. If they absolutely don't want to come in, we'll go pick up their car, bring it, and deliver it back. Okay. All right. And so what would you say the percentage? You sold 156 cars last month. Out of the 156 cars, how many did you do over the phone? Totally phone and internet? Maybe a handful. Oh, okay. So 5? 5, yeah. 5? Okay. So the majority of the people, more than 150 came into the dealership? Correct. Okay.
How many of the 156 did you do a lot of the legwork, pricing, trade, credit stuff over the phone and internet? But they still came in. 70?
Maybe 70, yeah, 70, 75.
So wait a minute, 70, 75. Okay, so let's say 70, 75. Okay, so that's a lot. Okay, that's actually an interesting nugget right there. So for almost half of your people, you did a significant amount of work over the phone and internet. Now, has that changed because of the pandemic? From before, it was very little? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. I would agree, because my whole thing as a BDC, director and internet sales trainers, I always wanted to give them as little information as possible and get them in the door. But I think the world's changed. I think that more people are used to, because of the last 7-8 months of this COVID situation, they're communicating more digitally, more socially. They're doing more online research, more online shopping, and more importantly, more online buying. So because of the world's evolving and changing, I think that dealers need to adapt. And it sounds like that's what you've done. You've adapted.
Yep.
Okay. Is there anything easier now because of the pandemic, as crazy as that sounds?
No. I mean, a lot of people are shopping online.
You have a lot of leads.
We have a lot of leads. Yeah, we have a lot of leads.
Okay.
So there's definitely a lot of customers in the database.
There's 16,500 franchise dealers, which means potentially there's about 16,500 internet directors out there, I'd assume. At least 16,000 internet directors, right? For franchise stores. There's an additional 40 to 50,000 used car dealerships and buy or pay years. The average dealership only sells about 100 cars a month. So your internet department in Freehold, New Jersey at a Kia dealership is selling almost 60% more than the full-blown average dealership in the United States. How does that make you feel?
Awesome.
Do you know that you're probably in the top 1% of the United States for internet directors?
That's awesome.
Did you realize that?
No.
Just think about that. So when you are nervous or you're this, you're that, what you're doing here is profound. What you're doing here is unique. And it's because of you, girl. I've been doing this for 22 years, and I've had 26 covers of magazines and all this stuff, and not one of it was just because of me. I'm in so many stores. The difference is the internet director. I truly believe that the internet director is the absolute catalyst if your department's gonna be successful or not. I don't care how much money you throw at the shit. I don't care how much the dealer principal or the GM wants this. If you've got a shitty internet director or BDC director, you're never gonna be able to maximize. Do you agree?
I agree.
Do you feel, and be honest, and we gotta be respectful and stuff like that, but do you feel that internet directors get the same respect as a sales manager or GSM? Okay, do you think that's fair?
No.
Yeah, neither do I. So I think that it's time, and that's why I'm doing this interview, is that we need to bring more awareness to automotive professionals that are in the BDC and the internet department, because you guys are really valuable. Talk about that.
I just feel like we should be a little bit more respected. We actually do bring in the people, but that's how you make your money, with us bringing them in. We don't sell the car, but we bring them in for you to sell.
Yeah, let me build on that. And just mathematically speaking, folks, just so you understand this is a big number. The average closing ratio for a fresh up is still only 18 to 20%. I'm talking about non-appointment, non-prior customer, non-BDC, a straight walk-in spot is only 18 to 20%. Whereas right now, especially during COVID, it's 50 to 60%. Appointments that come in are closing at 50 to 60%. Do you understand that? So the deals that the internet and BDC bring in are almost done deals. Before the pandemic, NADA was saying that the average in-market buyer only visits 1.2 stores. So if you get them there, if you didn't screw it up at the floor, it's getting spotted. Right or wrong?
Right.
Yeah. So again, what you've got to realize is that this is something that's going to be extremely critical as the years go by, as we get to 21, 22, 23, and so on. If we're this needed in internet BDC now, just think about what it's going to be in the next 3 to 5 years. So you're lucky that you work for a group that is internet driven. You know, Jake, your dealer principal, has us in all of his stores and yada, yada, yada. But, you know, how you feel I'm telling you right now, it's magnified 20-fold at other dealerships because they don't have the buy-in from a GSM that loves you and loves the department. They don't have buy-in from a dealer principal loves you and loves the department. And even with all that love, you still feel unequal, which I agree. You know what I mean? And it's a shame. It's one of the advices that I gave you is I was like, look, you got to turn around and sell cars. You got to be product certified. You got to be able as an internet director, because you know what a salesperson's going to say, which is stupid. I don't give a shit if you sold 156 cars. Have you ever taken out before? Have you sold a car? You ever put plates on? You ever turned around and did a delivery? No. And you're like, no, I haven't. And it might be stupid, but that's just the culture that we're in. You got to be about that life to be accepted by those people. So is that something that's on your radar, that you want to be able to sell cars, desk deals, and things like that?
Yeah. I would definitely like to learn it.
Yeah. All right, good. So here's what I want to do is I want to let you close out the interview. Just what advice do you just have to people that are in the internet or BDC? First question, and then I'm going to ask you another one.
Just focus, train a lot, and just work with your managers.
Okay. Next question is, what advice do you have for dealer principals, GMs, and GSMs?
Just that the internet and phones are the new showroom.
All right, so I'm going to build on that. So dealers and GMs, what you need to do is you need to make sure that you respect your internet director like they are a sales manager or a general sales manager. I mean, think about it, and if you can't, then you don't have the right director. And you need to respect your BDC reps like they're not telemarketers or receptionists. No disrespect to receptionists, no disrespect to telemarketers. But if you don't see your coordinators as frontline salespeople selling the appointment, then you're missing the true value and potential of this department. Would you agree with that statement?
Yes.
All right. So Carmela, it was a pleasure, having you spend a couple minutes with us, and it's been an honor to watch your evolution, man. Like, I'm really proud of you.
Thank you so much.
So there you have it, the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast. This podcast comes to you every week from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. If you have a question about the show or would like the chance to become a guest, feel free to contact us directly at 856-546-2440 or email us at millionairecarsalesman@gmail.com. This program is a presentation of Synergy Records, produced by Jason Caleri and Karen Bradley. Production and engineering by L.A. Williams. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is hosted every week by L.A. Williams and the Millionaire Car Salesman himself, Sean V. Bradley. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast can be found everywhere, so please don't forget to review, subscribe to, and share the show. Thanks for listening to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, and remember, where I'm from, money provides options. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is sponsored in part by Scar Food, Bradley On Demand, and Dealer Synergy. If you enjoyed this podcast, then make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave us a review. Let some other folks know about it. Oh, and don't forget to join the Millionaire Car Salesman group on Facebook. We'll see you there.